Well, at this point, I think I've heard all the triad objections there is. I'm not going to play triads because there are just way too many shapes to learn. I'm not going to learn triads because they just don't sound as powerful as my big power chords or my open chords. I'm not going to learn triads because I can't strum the triads. Well, today I'm going to confront these head on and I'm going to show you a fantastic technique, because the reality is many of you out there don't need a big giant triads course. You just need a few simple shapes that you can use to give you some diversity and some new options in your playing. Now, here's what's crazy about what I'm going to show you today. We're not going to use a few shapes. We're going to use one shape. So I'm going to show you maybe one of the simplest on-ramps into the world of triads, and it's very possible that you may never need a triad course at all in your life. Grab your guitar, grab a cup of coffee, and let's jump into some way too simple triads. All right, the technique I'm going to lead you through today involves a shape that you're probably very familiar with. It looks just like this. We're going to use our D shape today, and this is going to be our base of operations, and we're going to make a few modifications to this. Now, many of you, if you're handed a chord chart with 5 chords on it, your brain is thinking 5 shapes. That's not how we're going to work today. My goal with this strategy is to give you what I call a high-low strategy. Many of you have all kinds of stuff that you can play down here. Oh, big power chords, big open chords. But there's a time in a song when we want to be able to jump up and access our higher octave, our 3rd octave. And that's really what this highest string here is going to give us. And so we're going to be focusing on really this section of the guitar with these triads. And we're going to be using our highest 3 strings today and just making simple modifications to this little D shape. Now notice how I'm playing this. If you can get to a point in triad world when you can flatten your finger and just add notes on top of that, you're setting really, really good. So this is our shape today. Let's start here. Go ahead and play this with me. I'm up at the 7th and 8th fret. Now this is a G chord. One way to know that is this note right here is our root note. So whatever note you find on your B string, make that shape, and that's the chord. Now, I don't want you to be turned off by how simple this is, what I'm about to show you, but I just want you to follow step by step with me. And by the end of this, you're going to be using triads to play along with the chorus of this song. Now do this, take this up a half step, and that's our 4 chord. So just say that out loud for a second. 1, 4. 1, I know it doesn't sound like the 4 chord. All right, just hang with me, trust me here. Ready, 1 chord. Half step up to the 4 chord. 1, 4. Okay, now let's add one more. A key is just a group of 7 chords, and the major chords are in the 1, 4, and 5 position. So if this is our 1 chord, our G, half step up is our 4, a whole step up from that is our 5. Okay, just follow that shape with me. 1, 4, whole step up, 5. One more time. 1, 4, 5. So in the key of G, the 1, 4, 5 is the G major, C major, and D major. We just played a G major right here, but this is not a C major. We're going to make one little shift. Ready? Take this shape. We were right here on G. Go up a half step. Take this shape and put this finger now just on this string instead. And that is our 4 chord. Take that up a whole step, and that's your 5 chord. Let's go back down to 4. So you see this? It's all the same concept. All we did was just move this finger back and forth here. If you need to, just to get used to that, play your D shape right here on your G, and then just switch this up here, and just go back and forth like that. Just your finger gets used to making that switch. Just take your time. Now, at any point in this video, if you start feeling overwhelmed, just stop for a second and just repeat what we're talking about, and then jump back in when you're ready. So here's our 1. What did we say? Half step up, move the finger. 4, whole step to our 5. So this is back on our 7th and 8th fret. This is our G note right here. G is our 1, C is our 4, and D is our 5. So So let's practice going back and forth between our 1 and our 4 before we jump in. 1, 4. 1. Take that up a half step, move the finger. 4. Slide it back down. Just like that. All right, let's jump into the track. We're going to move real slow here. So the first thing we're going to do is just do a back and forth with our 1 and our 4. That's our G and our C. Again, these are tracks right off of my numbers course. We're going to be counting 4 for all these songs, and this is going to count us in. And on the bottom, you're going to see the count 1, 2, 3, 4. And so that's going to tell you where we are in the song. We're going to keep this real simple. And at the beginning of these tracks, you're going to see the chords. But as we move along, these are going to change to numbers. And if you ever get lost, just refer to the key up here. Notice we have all 7 chords. Notice on the top, the 1, the 4, and the 5 are major chords. And then the 2, 3, and 6 are minor chords. And then that 7 is diminished. We won't be playing that today. So let's start with going back and forth from the 1 to the 4. This is going to loop 4 times for us. Here we go. 2, 3, 4. So 1 to the 4. All right, you take it from there. Now you notice I'm using numbers. And if it wasn't enough, CJ, that you got to talk about triads, all of a sudden you're throwing in a bunch of numbers here. Well, here's the deal, my friend. It may sound like I'm making things more complex, but I'm not. What I'm going to show you here thrives when we use numbers. So to practice today, not only are we going to work through these 1, 4, and 5 chords, not only are we going to use this shape and learn the chords of our key, but we're going to do it using numbers. Now don't get scared away. Hang with me here. This is going to be way easier than you think. We're just going to do some chord number association. And by the time we're done with this, not only are you going to be playing triads, yes you, not only are you going to be playing triads, and not only are those triads going to cover 5 different chords on the song, but you're going to be playing these not off from a chord chart, but a numbers chart. I guarantee you. Now I'll talk to you a little bit about tone and how we can really make these pop. I'll talk to you about rhythm and the best way to incorporate rhythm with triads. But first, we're going to just get used to this 1, 4, 5. We're going to get warmed up with a little chord number association. On the left, you're going to see the number. And what we want to do is play that chord. Whatever is the 1, whatever key we're in. In this case, we're in the key of G, so the 1 is the G. When you see the number appear, you're going to play that chord before the chord appears on the right. Okay, so let's just walk through this. 1, that's our G. There's our 4, our C, 5. Just run with it from there. Okay, 2, 3, 4. Here we go. So the 4, the C, 5, the D. Back to our C. To the 1, the G. All right, take it from here. All right, remember, we're going to take this slow. So if you have to go back and just do that again, that's all right. This is all about rewiring our brain and getting our hands used to playing just simple shapes right now. So let's real quick talk about tone. We want to avoid weak tone. When you're up here in this section of the guitar, these higher notes by themselves don't have a lot of punch to them. And so if you're only using a clean tone, they can just come across pretty weak. And in worship, the band really counts on the electric guitar to bring some energy. And if we're just running a clean tone and there's not much wet effects and all that, we're not really doing our job. Now, we want to avoid the other extreme too, where we have such heavy drive and gain, or we have so much wet effects, delay and reverb, that it becomes noisy or chaotic. I would say for now, try to get your tone to a point when it's like edge of breakup. No, I'm beyond that right now. But that breakup is going to allow our notes to just punch a little bit. This is where my tone is at on the bridge pickup. So it has some punch to it, but when I play lightly, and when I go up to say my neck pickup, you can tell there's a little bit of breakup there, middle pickup. I still want some clarity. Now this is a little beyond the edge of breakup if we're going to do gain staging, but I like to have a little punch, but I also like to have some clean element. And as long as you're kind of balancing those two, I think that's a great place to start. Now beyond that, whenever you have gain and wet effects going on, we have to have a balance. Having both lots of gain and lots of wet effects, they're going to work against each other. So if I have a little bit of breakup, I have some room to bring in a decent amount of delay and reverb if I want to. And so I'd recommend for now just to bring some body into it. I'm going to use some delay. I have some eighth notes, 1 and 2, and we're at 68 beats per minute in the song we're going to play. Now, as each of these tracks count into it, you can tap your delay along. I'm using eighth for now, but you could use dotted eighth if you wanted to. I'm going for maybe like 5 repeats, 6 repeats, something like that behind it. But you notice after I strike a note, I want to make sure for now that the first repeat isn't as loud as my initial note. And it's not right now. It's actually pretty warm as well because it's an analog delay. So, and then for reverb, I'm using a bigger, spacier reverb, but I'm going to keep that pretty set in the back. This is just listening to the reverb alone. I mean, it's pretty subtle there. I don't want to, this setting especially we can get buried in reverb pretty quickly. If you have a plate or a hall reverb, those are great too. So put those together. And what I recommend for now, just really lean into the sustain of your guitar. We'll talk about arpeggiating in a minute, but I rarely strum triads. I would really recommend with triads just starting right now with diamonds, which means we're just going to play the chord change and just let it ring out. And really pay attention to how hard your pick is digging into the strings. We don't want to chop at it. We want to rake it down. This is all, we have to be very delicate at this point with these higher strings here. Make sure you're not pressing too hard. Our notes are going to get too sour. I'm going to go up to my bridge pickup. Cool. Yeah, I like where we're at. So, all right, before we start adding minor chords in here, let's do another run at this 1, 4, and 5, but in a different order. All right, we have our pillars, our 1, 4, and 5, our 3 major chords. Now let's add our minor. And the most popular minor that we're going to use in worship songs is the 6 minor. In this case, that's the E minor. If you've seen any of my Ace Triad videos, you guys kind of already know what's coming here. We're not going to learn any new shapes for our minor chords. The same shapes we just used are the ones we're going to play for our minor chords as well. So when we play a 6 minor, we're going to use actually the same shape as the 1 chord. So for both the 1 and the 6 minor, we're going to play this D shape. And then for the 2 minor, we're going to play the same as the 4. And for the 3 minor, we're going to play the same as the 5. Now, CJ, why in the world would we do something as ridiculous as that? Well, here's the deal. When we play those major shapes over top of those minor chords, we make those minor chords minor sevenths. And a minor seventh sort of softens the minor quality, which often gives it a little more of a modern feel. And especially for the 6 minor and I would say the 2 minor, the majority of the time in worship songs, these are not standard minor chords. They're often made minor sevenths. So instead of starting with a standard minor triad, we're going to start by learning a minor 7 chord because it's used more often than the regular minor chord. Now, I can already hear the old timers, some of you out there, what, you're not going to learn the actual triad shapes? Kids these days need to just breathe, my friend, because here's the cool thing about all these shapes. If you want to play the standard minor chord, it's just 1 note away, just 1 finger away. It's super easy to add that later, and you can decide then if you want to do the minor 7th and the minor. But right now, we're going to use the same shapes we just used over top of our minor chords. So let's walk up 1, 4, 5, 6 minor, and let's play those shapes. So our 1 would start here on our G, 4, the C, 5 is our D, and what did we say for the 6 minor? We're going to play the 1 shape over that. So just go back to your 1. And that's our 6 minor as well. So if you see the 6 minor and the 1 next to each other in the song, you just don't move. You just keep playing the same thing. And I know that sounds crazy, but it actually sounds awesome. One more time. 1, up to the 4, up to the 5, to the 6. All right, just trust me on this one. Go ahead and jump in. All right, in a second, I'm going to give you a more difficult version of that 1, 4, 5, and 6. But first, let's talk about rhythm. If you said, CJ, you can only have one thing the rest of your life, strumming or arpeggiating or picking, I would pick arpeggiating every day of the week. And I would strongly encourage you to steer away from just strumming everything and really lean into picking patterns. So before we jump back into a track, let me show you a few picking patterns. First thing you can do is just play each note once. With a song at this speed, we could play eighth notes, 1 and 2. So on the chord change, you could pick 1 and 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 1 and 2, 3. That's perfectly fine. Remember, we're leaning into our gain, our wet effects, and the sustain of our guitar. We're going to play the notes and then let the notes just live on past us. And so that's the most simple one right there. 1 and 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2. Okay, beyond that, we have the down and back. The direction of your picking is really important. So we're going to go down, down, and then up, up. Now, why would we do this? Because it's way more efficient. We want to be picking in the direction of our next note. So if we go down, 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 where does this leave our pick? Right down here. Where's our next note? It's this B string up here. We're not where we need to be. But if we pick up on this last string, look where I am. I'm right there, right at my B string, ready to go. Another thing that you're going to hear me do in the song probably is I love doing like a back and forth with just two of the notes, throwing in the higher note at different times, depending on what the vocal melody is or the rhythm or whatever, where we are in the song. So I like doing like a... This is the beauty of arpeggiating. We could talk about 100 different ways of picking and isolating certain notes depending on the rhythm and the melody line, and it gives us all kinds of new options. And one thing that I love doing too when a song is slower like this, we're at 68 beats per minute, very common tempo range in modern worship music, but I like to do 16th notes and pick faster, twice as fast. So like a... So when a song really gets building, instead of doing the... oftentimes I'll have that in the bag just for that very end. The very highest point in the song, just to really drive things. Okay, before we add any more chords, we need to solidify this 1, 4, 5, and 6. So let me give you a different combination. It's going to be a little different. And then when you come back, I'll add a chord to this. Now, we could keep going with this into all the chords of the key, into inversions. Today, we're going to stop at the 2 minor. If you really want to go deep on this, check out my numbers course and my triads course, pain-free numbers, pain-free triads. But if you have these 5 chords, 1, 4, 5, and then your 6 minor and 2 minor, that makes up the vast amount of most songs you're going to run into. So what are we going to do for the 2 minor? Remember, it's not going to be a new shape. So just like we paired the 6 minor with our 1, we're going to pair the 2 minor with our 4. So we were up here with our 1 and our 6. This was our 4. And now that's going to be our 2 chord as well. And remember what happens when we play this 4 chord, this major chord, over top of that minor. We make it a minor 7th, which is a little more modern. It softens the minor tone. Now, there are times that I want that darker minor tone, in which case I'm just going to play the regular minor chord. And here's the cool thing about playing guitar. If it doesn't sound right, don't play it. Okay, so let's walk up 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. What would that be? So we'd have our 1. Our 2 was the same as our 4. So that's our 2. And then the 4, well, it's the same. 4, 5, and back to our 6. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. All right, give it a shot. All right, guys, the time has come. We're going to play along with the numbers chart. We're going to play the song Who Else. It's a pretty simple song chord-wise, but it is going to have all 5 of these chords in it. And I have to confess, I've been holding something back, something I haven't been telling you up to this point. We've been playing in the key of G, C, D, E minor, A minor. We're not actually going to play this in the key of G. We're going to play this in the key of A flat. And I know it's pretty tricky, maybe even cruel, but I want to do this to prove a point. This is the power of numbers right here. Because we just learned this whole system with numbers and not necessarily with the chord names themselves, all we have to do to play this song is just shift up or down from our key of G. So A flat is 1/2 step higher than G. So we're going to take everything we just did, and now this is where we think numbers. And you say, CJ, I don't even know what an A flat is. That's all right. Here's the cool part about this. All you need are the numbers. So to get to A flat, remember this was a G, go up a half step, and now we have an A flat. It's an A flat major chord, our 1 chord. There's our 1. And you know what? I'm not even going to use the chord names of the song. I'm just going to call them by their numbers. We have our 1, we have our 2 and our 4, we have our 5, right? And back to our 1. Now using the numbers, we're going to play along with this. I'll play through it once, just so you can see me do it, maybe give you some ideas, and then I'm going to set you loose on it, and I think you're going to be surprised. Okay, so I'm going to keep the same tone for now. I have a decent amount of delay on here. If I really laid into my... I like the amount of breakup there. There's clarity, but it gets a little nasty. I may, as we go along, hit my extra drive pedal back here to give it a really big boost. But let's take it from, I don't know, maybe that second verse. All right, so I'm on my neck pickup. Let's pick it up at verse 2 here. Just some diamonds. 6, 5, 4. Let it hang out there. Walk down 6, 5. Let's go to the bridge pickup. Same thing, diamonds. Back to 6. To the 4. Look at that, guys, just back and forth. All right, let's add some rhythm. Okay, let's do this. I'm gonna go back to neck pickup. I'm just gonna play the middle note and just hang on that. I think and another guitar in the track is doing it as well. I'm gonna put my gain on now. 4. Just the middle note. 6. And then the 1. Stay there. 5. Dig it a little harder. 5. Bridge. All 3. Just the outside notes.